And good evening, everyone. Thank you for staying with us at 6. I'm Ellie Merritt in for Colleen tonight.
I'm Dwayne Pullman in for Cabot. Tonight, police say the search is over in Innis Park. That after 2 bodies were found within days of each other. We have continuing coverage tonight. The search started last Wednesday, and now police say after an extensive search, there are no other bodies buried there. NBC4's Ted Hart has been following this story since it broke. He's live at Innis Park right now with the very latest on this investigation. Ted.
And Dwayne, you know, some of the neighbors around this park say that it changes complexion from day to night, from feeling safe and kind of family friendly during the day to dark and filled with suspicious activity at night. And police say now, with 2 bodies found in side-by-side makeshift graves here in the park, that whatever happened here most likely happened under the cover of darkness. Police took down the yellow tape and pulled out their equipment today, clearing the crime scene. There's plenty of First, the remains of a 17-year-old boy that were carefully excavated last week. But then Saturday, forensic archaeologists found a second set of remains right next to the first.
Once they found that second body, then the discussion was, we need to expand the search area.
They used search dogs over the weekend and say they are now satisfied there are no more bodies to find. Police say they will now be searching phone records, text messages, and social media looking for clues.
With all the evidence that we've collected here, we'll be able to put together some kind of timeline and exactly what happened and who did it.
Can you say at this point whether detectives have any significant leads or suspects?
No, at this time we have no leads or suspects.
Preliminary autopsy findings for 17-year-old Wilson Omar Valledo are expected later this week. The coroner described the second set of remains as skeletalized. As to how the bodies got there and what other evidence was found, police aren't saying.
We know that there are a lot of questions that you have as far as how this happened, what happened, were they bound, were they drugged, were they dismembered. We can't share any of that information simply because it's part of the investigation.
And as tedious as the excavation and the searching work has been, police say now really the hardest part comes, and that's trying to piece together all of the evidence to find those responsible and bring them to justice. Live at Innis Park, Ted Hart, NBC4.
Ted, thank you. Now, the first body found in that same park has now been identified as a 17-year-old who disappeared last month. Wilson Omar Valledo was reported missing back on November 14th. He was last seen near his home on Webster Canyon Court, less than 5 miles from the park. His remains were discovered by a man just out walking his dog on December 2nd. Valledo's cause of death has not yet been determined, but police are investigating the case as a homicide. And stay with NBC4 for continuing coverage of this story, including updates on Valledo's case and the second body, which is still yet to be identified. We'll bring you the latest on air and online at NBC4i.com.